Your mind is screaming to get to work. 2. Your mind is screaming to get to work, to turn it over, to break it apart, to make it look like a garden. That's the first mistake. That impulse, that need to do something, to conquer the dirt, that's what kills your season before it even starts. You're not looking at empty dirt. You're looking at a sleeping city. A whole underground metropolis of bacteria, fungi, tiny creatures, a workforce. And your shovel, especially right now in the wet chill, is a wrecking ball. You think you're preparing a bed for seeds. You're actually declaring war on the only thing that can feed those seeds. Here's the reframe, and you need to get this straight. Your job this spring isn't to feed plants. Your plants are the last in line. Your primary, your only real job is to rapidly activate and feed that native microbial workforce. Plant success isn't the goal you work toward. It's the guaranteed byproduct you get if you do this right. So put the shovel down, just for a minute. Stop seeing a plot of land. Start seeing the invisible, powerful ecosystem living within it. This isn't about gardening. This is about awakening an army. All right, the shovel's down. You see the sleeping city. Now we wake it up without wrecking the place. First step isn't action, it's assessment. This is damage control. You walk out to that wet soil, that urge to dig screaming in your muscles, and you do one thing. You kneel, you grab a handful of earth from a few inches down, you squeeze. If it forms a tight, shiny ball that holds together, a muddy bullet, you just saved your entire season. That's your signal. That soil is waterlogged. Its pores, the tiny air pockets that are the highways for oxygen and water, are full. Now imagine driving a tiller through that, or even just driving a shovel deep and turning it over. You're not fluffing soil. You're smashing those pores flat. You're creating concrete. You're burying the very oxygen your microbial workforce needs to breathe. You're trapping water in clumps that will bake hard in the sun. It's a tomb. So you stop. That's the discipline. Replacing the urgency to do with the wisdom to know. If you've already made the mistake, if you've tilled soup, don't panic. The fix is surface level. You don't dig again. You use a broad fork. Just lift and loosen, don't turn, or you just add a layer of coarse, finished compost right on top. Let it rebuild from the surface down. Your most important spring tool isn't in your shed, it's your hand. Now, the wake-up call. You've assessed. The soil is damp but not sopping. It's time. Here's the core of it all. Compost is not plant food. Say that out loud. Compost is fuel. It's the high-octane breakfast for that sleeping microbial city. Your job is to deliver it to where the workers are hungry and ready. That's not 6 inches down. That's the top 1 to 3 inches. The sun warms that top layer first. Oxygen is plentiful there. That's the active zone. So you take your finished compost, cool, crumbly, sweet smelling, and you lay down a 1/2 inch to 1 inch layer over the whole bed, like you're buttering toast. Then you take a rake, not a shovel, a rake, and you gently, shallowly mix it in. Just the top few inches. You're not burying it. You're setting a table in the warmest room in the house. You water it lightly if it's dry. And then you wait. This is the hard part. You wait 7 to 14 days. You walk away because you've just lit the fuse. That shallow layer is a biological incubator. Microbes explode in population, generating biological warmth as they eat. Their activity creating nutrients that will radiate downward. You will create a richer, warmer, more fertile planting zone right below that line than deep tilling ever could. It feels like doing less. It is doing less. It's also doing everything. You might feel ridiculous, barely scratching the surface. But you're not tending dirt anymore. You're conducting an orchestra you can't even see. The city beneath your feet is awake. The workforce is fed. It's multiplying. Now we shift it to autopilot. This is the moment you stop being a laborer and start becoming a director. That shallow compost was one big meal. But a workforce doesn't run on a single feast. It runs on a steady paycheck. That paycheck is living mulch. After planting your main crops, tomatoes and beans, grab a handful of clover seed or annual ryegrass. Choose something low, soft, and non-competitive. Don't just sow it in the beds. Broadcast it everywhere. Down the pathways, across every patch of bare soil. You're not planting cover. You're installing a permanent solar-powered feeding system. As those plants grow, their roots release sugars, root exudates, straight into the soil. It's a continuous drip of energy, a direct sugar line to your microbial workforce. Every so often, take a pair of shears, not a tractor, your hands, mow it down and let the cuttings fall exactly where they land. That green layer becomes surface mulch, feeding fungi and insects. It becomes a cycle. Grow, mow, feed, grow, mow, feed. The pathways, the places you walk, the space you once ignored, become the most biologically active, fertile zones in your entire garden. They're constantly feeding the biology that then feeds your crop rows. You've just turned your problem areas into your power plants. You eliminate the need for repeated tilling. You slash your need for heavy compost applications next year. The system feeds itself. You've gone from avoiding damage to triggering activation to managing a self-sustaining cycle. Your role is observation, gentle guidance. You are not a planter of seeds anymore. You are a conductor of soil life. And planting becomes the final, simple, almost guaranteed step. That's the identity shift. Spring gardening isn't a race to till and plant. It's a deliberate sequence. Assess, activate, automate. True self-sufficiency doesn't come from your back muscles. It comes from building autonomous systems. Systems that work while you sleep. That grow stronger each season without your constant intervention. You build a food production asset, not a chore. Look back at that wet, quiet, cold soil you started with. That wasn't an empty bed to be conquered. It was a dormant powerhouse. You just needed the right signal. The shallow compost. The wake-up call. You awakened the army. And now you've put it to work, forever. That is calm, leverage control. That is harvest security. That is independence. You're not helpless. You're ready.